Hi guys, George Ray here. Just a short video showing you some rigs that I've made up. This is what you call a feeder rig. Put ground feeder in there, or in America you call it pack bait. This is a helicopter rig. You can throw this out really far distances. It won't tangle because, as you can see, it spins around there. And there's a little bit of dissolving foam on the hook. So when you throw it out really far, that hook won't get tangled in weed or whatever. The foam will dissolve, leaving the hook completely free. This is a basic rig. It's a clip rig. All these rigs have got tubing. Now the tubing is for two reasons. One's for anti-tangle, so things don't get tangled up. And the other is it stops wrecking the carp's scales. It's a bit safer than just normal bare line, because bare line can actually cut through them. This is another helicopter rig with some luncheon meat on. Another type of feeder. Now I've been checking on Amazon, and you can get all the components for making these rigs on Amazon in the UK and in America, because I just wanted to check that you could get all this stuff in America. Now this is my favorite feeder. As you can see, it's got a weight in it. Now that weight will make sure when that hits the bottom, it will always be upright. So when you're packing your bait, just remember to put your bait, put this on the opposite side. So that will be showing when it lands on the floor of the river. That's another distance rig. It's got treble on it. I like these weights as well to disguise the stones. As you can see, don't know if you can see, designed as stones, so it's not so conspicuous to the fish. Once again, you can throw this out far, and I've covered the hook with a bit of foam. Now this is the simplest rig of all. I think would be ideal in America. They're called PVA bags. Now in here, see that yellow bit? That is my hook bait. It's got my boilie on, and it's got a floating bit of imitation corn. Now on that, you can throw this out really far. That will sink, the bag will dissolve, leaving a nice pile of food for carp, which is full of attractants, scent. Carp loves scent. And the beauty of this, it will never ever get tangled. Once again, if you put a little bit of foam over your hook bait, fine. As you can see, in the top of that, I've got a couple of odd bits of foam. The reason for this, I can throw this, say 30 meters, not far out, but then when I see that foam rise to the surface, I know that bag's dissolved, so I'm actually fishing. So that's a little tip if you're fishing close in. Doesn't matter if you don't bother putting it in if you're fishing really, really far out, because you ain't going to see it unless you've got binoculars. Now, that is a nice little feeder there, and it's on elastic. The beauty of that is, once a fish is hooked on that elastic, because it's elastic, the tension never lets loose, so the fish has got less chance of getting away. And you can see by the size of the hook, it's only tiny, and that is what we call a meat hook. Whoops, tangled up here. That is a meat hook. Where is it? See the coil? Get into view. It's a coil, it is. And I've copied this and I've made some large ones which I think would help the catfishing community. So they've got a bait they can always keep in their bags at all times. Luncheon meat or spam. Now I've made these ones myself. I've copied that little tiny one which I bought, and I've replicated them in some just garden twine. That's all it is. So you get yourself some wire and you can actually make them yourself. It's not very difficult, it's just a matter of shaping. And what I decided was, on this one, after I made a couple, I thought it'd be best if I put a swivel on there. I'll show you now. Hold on. I'll get some meat. Big bit of meat. Get your coil. Just screw it in. And I can promise you, when you cast this, it is not going to come out. That is in there solid. I think that'd be ideal for cats. So in a later video, I will show you how I make these. But that is, what is it? 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches of luncheon meat. So if you're ever short of bait, always keep luncheon meat or spam in your bag, and you can resort to that so you carry on fishing. Now there are loads of baits you can use. Carp will eat just about anything. I don't know if you can get ground bait in the US, but we can get ground bait over here. And the most important thing about ground bait is it's an attractant and it's full of flavours and scents. Now you can add your own. I think a good way of adding scent to your bait is like marinating it. Now in the US they use Jello. Now Jello would be good for meat as well. You could soak your meat for like 2 days in Jello and see what the results are. Also that bag, you could put that, make a bigger one, actually put it in a bag and throw that out into the horizon. You know it's not going to come off. I don't exactly know how you do your cat baits. Here's another one I made on a helicopter rig, big sinker. And here are little bits. These are dissolvable string, which you just hook on to any freebie. So now that will be going with the meat. Little boilies that can go with some more boilies. Just hook them on, twist them on, hook them on, and chuck them out. My favourite, massive big pellets. Carp love them. Another thing for the US, for rivers, are these type of weights. they grip the bottom of the river or the lake, and when you pull them, these release. So when you pull it back, they all collapse and you get that back. But once they stick into the mud, they are amazing. We use them in sea fishing, but I think you could use them in some of your fast rivers like the Potomac, places like that. And when you're using feeders, you only need, I would say, 4 to 5 inches of line. Now, if you go onto Amazon, you need to look up terminal tackle, and you'll find these on Amazon in the US and in the UK, and that is what you need. That's all the components you need to make up these rigs. They also sell dissolvable bags, dissolvable string, and most important, another good thing, bait elastic. Now, I'm a good believer in scent. I think a good cat bait would be whole squid. Stuff the squid with whatever you want to stuff it with for scent, and then use this magic elastic. We call it bait elastic. I think you call it magic thread. You just wrap that round. There's no tying involved. Just keep wrapping and wrapping and wrapping and wrapping and wrapping till it's all sealed up. Pierce it a couple of times with a hook or whatever, and then chuck that out. Magic elastic. Brilliant. But these weights I think would be ideal as well for them fast rivers in America. They will hold to the bed, no problem whatsoever. And like I say, they're easily released. Here are some other leads we use over here. All different types of leads. And there's a dissolvable, you've got 2 dissolvable things here. Got dissolvable string, and you've got PVA tape. That's dissolvable as well. That's for making up all your stringers and stuff. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Oh, one more thing before I forget. Another way of doing meat is with these. It's like a little tube. You push the tube in the meat, get your baiting needle, push through, pull it through, and there's a stop that goes on the bottom. That will work because your line will not cut through the meat. I haven't actually tried this yet. I only got these the other day, but that will be good, I'm sure. And when you're going fishing, carp fishing, always have your sweet corn, shellfly sausage, pepperami, whatever, dog biscuits, your flavourings, little tubs of boilies. Don't need a lot. You have pulses as well, like black eyed peas, butter beans, carp pea, a large array of stuff. But if you take your pack bait, mixing it, sweet corn, some dog biscuits, whatever. Dog biscuits, you can actually blend them to a powder and mix in with your pack bait. That's more flavour, more scent. And like I say, carp are like cats. They will eat anything. But it's all about scent. The main thing is scent. And the main thing about carp fishing as well. Don't just go to a lake or a river and just chuck a rod in. That's just a waste of time. If you're going to a lake, walk around that lake at least once or twice. Try looking for signs of the carp. When you find out where the carp is, that's where you go and fish. It's no use just going up to a lake and just chucking your rod in and waiting. That's just stupid. Find where the fish are if you can. There could be reeds, overhanging trees, whatever. Once you find them, don't cast right in the middle of them. Cast right beside them or behind them. Then you can bring it in slowly. Another good way for carp, if it's your local area and it's your local lake, pre-baiting is brilliant. You can go there every day or every other day at the same sort of time, throw some pack bait in balls, make up some pack bait into balls, and chuck say 3 or 4 in every other day or every day. Then when you decide to go fishing, you go to that area at that time and chuck your pack bait in, guaranteed you'll get a carp. I hope this video is helpful, and you don't need massive hooks. I think it was Jody who was asking the size of the hooks. Basically, I would say, let me have a look. These are some hooks I made up ages ago. 6, 8s and 10s. But I would also use a 4. You can see the size of them. So you want 6, 8s. My main 2 is a 6. I prefer a 6 when I'm carp fishing. Now I'm going to try this, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see this properly. I'm going to try and show you how to make a hair rig. Let's get some of this out of the way. Right, hook, some line, and with this line what you need to do is just do an overhand loop. I knew it's going to be difficult doing this on camera. I just knew it. Shaking and everything. Oh. Right, one more try. If I don't do it, yes. Right, so there's my overhand loop. Then what you do, get your bait. What should we use? This is your baiting needle. So you get your baiting needle, go through. There's your loop. It's on. And what we call a boilie stop goes on there. Ouch. Wow, I hooked myself. Right. So that's then the important part. This is how you do your knotless knot. There's your hook. Go through the back of the hook. Bring it all the way down to your bait. On it about there. Now you've got it there. What you do is you wrap this round about 7 times. This is why they call it a knotless knot. Then go back through the eye again. And that's your knotless knot. Simple. And there's no weak link in it. That wasn't a very good view on how to make the knotless knot. But I'll be showing them in all sorts of different videos as I'm making stuff. The next video is going to be about floater fishing, catching carp from the surface. So I'm going to make that rig up, practice a bit of photography because obviously I'm rubbish, but I'm trying my best. And if there's any questions you'd like to know about carp fishing, you just leave a comment and I'll try and answer it as best as I can. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Also read my about page. I'm not doing this for money or anything like this. I actually enjoy trying to help beginners and people to learn how to carp fish. And that's all I want. When I get to 500 subs, I'll be happy because then I can have a community page where I can help other channels as well. But my main aim is to teach the young and beginners how to carp fish and the best way to do it. And my biggest tip to all wannabe carp anglers, don't pay too much attention to the rod. Any rod will catch you a fish. The fish don't know what rod you've got. The fish don't know what reel you got. I would rather spend £50 on all my terminal tackle, the best that I can buy, and a mediocre rod. Concentrate on what the fish see in the water. Get the best materials, best hooks, what you can afford. Rods, you can always get a really nice rod when you get into your fishing. But for beginning, doesn't matter what rod you use, you can get rods for like 30 quid. That'll catch you a carp. Spend more on your terminal tackle and watch lots and lots of videos on how to. And you'll be catching carp left, right and centre. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all soon. Peace out. One love to everyone. Adios.